they haven't been there that long, but I came up here the other day and stood across the street and got some shots.
This is crazy.
Awesome.
Like, how bold could you be?
I know. You wouldn't think it. It's like I didn't even see it. I saw somebody else out here standing up here looking at it. I was walking down that sidewalk over there. I was like,
it's like premeditated because it's like we just got the verdict from the Cyrus Department Hilton. There's no way you could have done that this quickly. So,
boycotting's not enough. Boycotting the Asian community is just not enough for me. Honestly, I feel like we need to understand what we're competing against. All right. And in order for us to like really crush our competition and let them know like we really don't need them for real, because we don't. And what that video told me was that their business models, they came here and they made great business models that work in our own communities. And we haven't figured out how to do that. So I'm going to take my accounting expertise and bring it to you. So first of all, we need to understand what we're competing against. All right. Now, one person goes over to Asia, they come here, or that one person comes from Asia, they come over here, they work, save money, buy a building, open up a nail salon. They call 5 of their family members and say, hey, nail salon is up and running. You guys come over here and we're going to start working. Now, this is the one thing we're missing and we don't understand about our competitor. They're not going to pay them the same thing that we would expect here in America. Why? Because their expectations are different. They're not coming here thinking they're going to make $17 an hour. They're actually okay with making 10. They're not rich. So their largest expense is now cut in half. Not only that, but their business model makes sense for our own Black communities, right? And I'll say for the specific communities that one man was talking about, right? He's talking about low-income communities. Let's keep it a band. And the reason it works for us is because their price point is low. Why is their price point low? Because they do high volume. High volume meaning there's 5 different people, maybe 6, 7 different employees in there. They can afford to have 6, 7, 8 employees there because they're only paying them $10 an hour. They do not have to pay them the standard rate of like 17.
It's not about whether or not they can pay them cheaper or anything like that. It's really about the fact that the only reason why they do this, and it's not that they're smarter than you, it's not that they're wiser than you or anything like that. Their options are limited because they don't have as much opportunity for you. These are not things that their children is looking to take over. They can't speak the language as well. They're not as educated. A lot of times people that come over into this country, if they're not going into a huge opportunity, they go on to Wall Street or something like that, or they're coming to train inside of our universities and they spent a lifetime saving up so that they could send their children to our universities who pay an extreme amount of tuition, and then ultimately they get a good job. Those kids go into a different type of lifestyle and job. They don't come back and take over the family business. They're not trying to work for that and nothing like that. The business ultimately dies with the parents.
Hey guys, it's Ozzy and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, the Blacks have decided to boycott the Asian businesses because of a viral video where a man posted and said the Asian businesses cannot be boycotted because, I mean, they supply a lot of things to the Black community, like the nails, salons, the clothing, the laundromat and everything. So the Black people are outraged and they're saying, okay, they're going to start patronizing their the Black community more, and different businesses have actually been coming online to advertise their businesses to their fellow Black community so that they can get, sales. So tell me what you think in the video and I'll see you soon.
Two adults with a gun. Two adults with a gun chase a child outside of a store. A child. They thought the child stole something. Come to find out the child ain't steal anything, y'all. He ain't steal the water that they thought he stole. They this child in the back. Am I clear? They shot him in the back. But they get off with self-defense because child had a gun on him. The same witness says he didn't point at anybody and didn't use. Nevertheless, Jit had a gun. So they get off with self-defense. You ever heard of the term hurry up and buy? It was a stereotypical phrase coined in the 90s. All right, it showed the relationship between Asian store owners and the black people that were shopping in their stores, okay? Now, the Asian people would follow the black people around and tell them, hurry up and buy. That means no lollygagging, don't be looking for too long. Get what you're going to get and get out. We don't want you stealing in our stores, okay? Hurry up and buy is not just a stereotypical phrase that was coined for fun. It was a symbol of the racial tension between Asian store owners and black people. And this isn't new. Now, this situation with Mr. Rick Chow and his child Cyrus happened in 2023. But if I told you, I don't know, 30 years ago, a very similar situation happened between an Asian store owner and a little girl, this would change things. Not only for your side of the argument, whoever you are, but for the opposite side too. One side would say, hey, there's a pattern here. Seems like black people love stealing from Asian people's stores. And the other side would say, hey, there's a pattern here. Seems like Asian people like killing black people in their stores. And I'm saying there's a pattern here of people dying over items that cost less than the gun they used to kill people with. And in this case, items he didn't even take. Now, before I move on, I just want to make something absolutely clear. I think Mr. Chow and his family deserve to be behind bars, in my opinion. But I need you to do me a favor and please pay attention to the way media is using specific language to frame these situations. A headline like this will make you angry at the situation. The headlines like these, they'll make you angry at the type of people in the situations. And that's on purpose. Everything about this situation deserves your anger. Everything about how the system treated this situation deserves your anger. But please do not let the media use specific language to have you have a disdain for an entire race of people. They don't care whether or not you read the article. They just want you to read the headline. They just want you to hurry up and buy. In the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful day. You know I love you and I'll see you tomorrow. But if I don't, stay out of trouble.
An Asian content creator got on this here internet wearing what can only be described as a Black American starter kit and decided to tell Black people that our money doesn't matter. Okay. According to him, Black people need Asian-owned businesses more than Asian-owned businesses need Black people. A boycott wouldn't move anything. The loss wouldn't register. Our dollars don't count. Now, this might just be me, but if I genuinely believed that somebody's money didn't matter, I don't think I'd spend my afternoon making a video about it. So naturally, I went looking at the history. Because this conversation isn't really about just one video, right? The very second that Black people start talking economics, where our money goes, who profits from it, who builds wealth off our communities, people get uncomfortable. That same discomfort doesn't appear when other groups do the same thing. Every immigrant community that's come to this country has done it. Jewish, Chinese, Korean, Italian, Indian, Armenian, pooling resources, building businesses, keeping their money inside their communities for as long as possible. Nobody finds that controversial, though. But what they fail to recognize is that we understood the same thing. We had to. After slavery, Black communities built banks, hospitals, insurance companies, schools, newspapers, whole business districts. The Greenwood neighborhood in Tulsa, Oklahoma had 191 businesses. It had 2 schools, a hospital, and a library, all by 1921. They called it Black Wall Street. But on May 31st, 1921, a white mob attacked it. 2 days of looting, burning, and shooting. But it's us, right? We're the problem. 35 square blocks destroyed. More than 1,200 Black homes, businesses, schools, and churches, y'all, burned to the ground. World War I era planes dropped bombs from the sky on the Greenwood neighborhood. The official death toll was 36. But we know the estimates were around 300 Black people killed, murdered. The survivors were rounded up and held in internment camps in their own city. They were issued identification cards and couldn't leave without permission from a white supervisor. Insurance companies refused every claim. They had something called a riot clause. Not a single Black resident ever received financial assistance to rebuild. So when somebody gets on the internet and tells Black people that our money doesn't matter, I automatically think they're a dumbass. A racist dumbass. Corporations spend billions chasing Black consumers. Political campaigns spend millions trying to reach Black voters. Entire industries are built around marketing to Black communities. Our money matters. It mattered enough to burn a city for it in 1921. It mattered enough to redline neighborhoods for the next 50 years. It matters enough that every quarter,
Somebody's profit and loss statement depends on us showing up. Apparently our money matters right up until we start talking about where we want to spend it. Then all of a sudden it doesn't. Right? Nobody's entitled to Black customers. We spend our money where we want. That's how markets work. That's how capitalism works. That's how every other community inside this country operates. The fact that this becomes a controversy every time Black people say it out loud tells me that this was never about money. It was about leverage. And this country has been comfortable with Black spending. It's Black leverage that's always made them nervous. But if you know anything about me, you know I love a good challenge. Shop Black. Spend with your people. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. We gonna show you better than we can tell you. Invest in Black businesses. Build the community. Y'all, we are overdue.
So we are boycotting the Asians because they mistreated us. That's not how this is supposed to work. You shouldn't be patronizing the Asians anyway, because you should desire independent Black economic infrastructure.
Right.
So we shouldn't even be in this position. So the question becomes this: when we're no longer angry at the Asians, you know what's going to happen? We're going to go right back to their businesses, because it's the same thing we do with the Caucasians. We don't need a boycott movement. We need a divestment movement. But the reason Black America is stuck in the boycott stage of revolution is we lack the accountability, the responsibility, and the financial discipline to divest completely and create alternative structures and systems for our people to exist in. In other words, Cyrus Carmack Belton should have never been at Rick Child's Sunoco gas station or Shell station in the first place, because there should have been a Black gas station. Carmelo Anthony should have never been at a predominantly white track meet, because he should have been attending a predominantly Black independent school.
To the Asian man who challenged all Black people to boycott all Asian businesses, I'd like to say thank you. We haven't seen a level of unity and camaraderie this large since probably George Floyd. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't know if Black people would have ever gotten to this point where we all unified under one singular movement this way. Like, it is powerful. The Asian people are starting to feel the effects of what you have done. This is impacting your people more than it's impacting my people. We are uniting against this. You have destroyed Asian businesses. That's you. You did that. And I'd like to thank you for getting my people to work together on something like this. This means the world to me. And to the Asian people who are hurting because of the decisions and the words that this person has said, you know who to come for. He did this to you, not us. He said we don't want you guys, so we said okay.
So I just had customers come in and say that we need to make some content because people are asking for Black-owned businesses. I don't have no content ideas, so I'm just going to show you the store. So we are Personal Treasures Beauty Supply Store located in Greensboro. We are Black-owned. It's my granddaddy and grandparents own the store.
This is Karen at Grand's Beauty Supply. Our address is 2670 Highway 155.
Word on the street is that we are now boycotting beauty supply stores in the nail salons.
Wow, Guru, looks like the boycott is real, but keep watching.
Hey y'all, Black Nail Tech over here. I'm just saying.
Y'all are really taking advantage, advertising all of y'all businesses.
Either Black-owned supplies, Loganville, Georgia. Come check us out.
Black-owned beauty supply alert.
But there's a catch. What group of people do you think all these stores are getting their inventory from? I told y'all it's impossible for y'all to escape Asian businesses.
Indeed, you just literally told me I cannot come anymore because of my skin. I've been a member for how long?
I talk to you with respect.
And how have I not been respectful, Cindy?
I'm sorry. Do you know I have the right to refill the service?
You know, I am not going to force you to do anything.
No more toenail, no more hair, no more wax.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody learned. They still in here supporting them. Look.
I come on here to tell y'all that I am not boycotting Asian restaurants. I'm not boycotting Asian like nail techs. You know why? Because I never shopped with them motherfuckers anyway. They were racist to me when I worked for Chase Bank. Asian people hated blacks. I've been discriminated against here in Norman. The little Asian lady lived next door to me. She was selling parking spots, parking people behind my house because we had a duplex, and she was getting paid for it because we lived by the OU Stadium, so people will pay to park in your yard if they can walk to the stadium from your yard. But she was getting paid for spots behind my apartment. So I went over and asked, I said, how are you parking people in my yard and getting paid and not giving me part of the money? Well, the next week, she blocked it off where they couldn't park behind my house. Anyway, she didn't want me to make no money, so there's that. I've been cursed out over the phone, talked crazy too by them, because they knew I was black over the phone. So, yeah, I'm not boycotting because I never liked Chinese food anyway. I never got my nails done anyway. My nails are natural. I don't deal with them. I don't buy fake hair because I got hair. So, I ain't going to boycott them, but I'm glad y'all are, because that man should have been found guilty for killing that baby over that damn bottle of water. And I don't care what you say. They've been getting away with being racist toward us for a long time. And I feel like this, even during the pandemic, they were throwing people out over there in China. They were being racist during the pandemic too. So I hope they all go out of business. And even though I'm not boycotting, I'm on here to tell y'all go ahead and take that black dollar back. Let them see. I never did shop at Target either, so I never did have to boycott them. If you ain't never shopped with them or they ain't never got none of my money. So I'm happy for black people standing up for their rights. I love y'all.
I love when the black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromat.
It is so damn ironic of you to bring up Chinese restaurants, dry cleaners, and laundromats, because we didn't choose those jobs. We were actually forced into them due to the anti-Asian laws created by white Americans and white European immigrants. And the only reason why those businesses survived was largely because of the support of black people. But a lot of you bootlickers don't know your history. And for that, I'm gonna have to take you to school. Domain expansion. Infinite TED Talk. What's up, everyone? My name is Rainier, and this is the true history of boycotting Asian businesses. You see, before Chinese restaurants and gas stations and beauty supply stores, the first Chinese migrants were actually in America in the 1800s during the California Gold Rush, and then to build the Transcontinental Railroad across the West Coast. But when the gold ran out and the final train tracks were laid, the American economy fell into a depression, and poor white Americans and European immigrants started to feel threatened by Chinese labor. And so what do? They joined anti-coolie clubs, and they advocated for anti-coolie laws that would limit the opportunities of Chinese laborers and tax anybody who hired Chinese workers. The racism was so bad that Chinese people were hunted down in their neighborhoods, beaten up by mobs of white men, or just straight up lynched in the streets. This violence is a big reason why Chinatowns were created in the first place. They are ghettos. They are safe spaces where Chinese people could set up shop and live together. But because of these anti-coolie laws, the only businesses that they could set up and get financing for were restaurants, grocery stores, and laundromats. Quick side note, so you should definitely watch the Warrior series because it's based on the writings of Bruce Lee, and it's set in the 1870s during all this anti-Asian racism. But even though black people were fighting their own freedoms at the time, they still took the initiative to speak up for Asians. And in 1869, the great Frederick Douglass gave the Composite Nation speech where he said, "Let the Chinaman come. He will help to augment the national wealth. He will help to develop our boundless resources. He will help to pay off our national debt. He will help to lighten the burden of our national taxation. He will give us the benefit of his skill as a manufacturer and as a tiller of the soil in which he is unsurpassed." Then in 1871 in Los Angeles, a mob of 500 white men robbed Chinese businesses and killed 19 Chinese immigrants. Hatred was so commonplace that companies would release advertisements to sell their laundry products using anti-Chinese racism. And then decades later, when the Hoover Company needed to sell washing machines, they published this ad over here depicting Chinese laundromat workers being displaced by automation. Now, if you watched Sinners, you probably remember the two Asian characters over here who ran a grocery store. And a lot of people were kind of confused why they were included. But that's because many Asians who left the West Coast due to a lack of work and racism, they fled to the South to work on sugar and cotton plantations. Many of those same Asians set up grocery stores in those black neighborhoods, which means black people were speaking up for Asians in the West Coast and putting dollars into our businesses in the American South. Fast forward to the 1980s when Vincent Chin was bludgeoned to death with a baseball bat by two white men who thought that Vincent was Japanese. Ronald Ebens and Michael Nitz recently lost their job at the Chrysler factory, and they blamed the Japanese car market for destroying the American automotive industry, and so they killed Vincent Chin. And when the Asian community needed to seek justice, who showed up for us? Jesse Jackson. I could honestly keep going, but I'm going to end on this note. If you know the Disney movie, The Jungle Book, then you know the author of the original book, Rudyard Kipling. But what you might not know is that Rudyard also infamously created the poem, The White Man's Burden, which symbolizes the pain and the struggle of being a white man who is responsible for carrying African, Asian, Latino, and indigenous people out of the jungles of barbarism into the promised land of civilization. But for a lot of you bootlickers, you seem to think that just because you're in another basket that you're better than black folks, even though we've worked on the same plantations and we've been lynched by the same angry mobs. You're trying so hard to get invited to the picnic, even though history has proven that we'll never truly be accepted by them. And in fact, history shows us the opposite. History has shown us that even though black people have no reason to invite us to the cookout, for well over a century, they have still had the heart to save us a plate. So to all you ungrateful Asian bootlickers out there crying about black people boycotting Asian businesses, just know that this protest doesn't come from nowhere. It came from over 100 years of showing love to Asian people and not receiving that same love and support in return. And goddamn, I think it's time that we need to return the favor.
This crackerjack right here, he was talking to y'all. He wasn't talking to me.
He wasn't talking to me either. When you need to wash your clothes, black owned. When you need to wipe your ass, black owned. When you need to throw your shit away, black owned. This is Freedom Paper Company. You need a purse, black owned. You need some candles, black owned. Black owned. Refresh your scalp oil, black owned. Black owned. Body oil, black owned. Jewelry, black owned. Room spray, black owned. Wash your ass again, black owned. Body butter, black owned. Deodorant, black owned. Soap, black owned. When you want to cook, seasonings, black owned. Hey, my spiritual sisters, here are my oracle cards, black owned. Hair moisturizer, black owned. Conditioner, black owned. Edge control, black owned. Bedroom candy, black owned. Shower net, black owned. I don't know if this is black owned, but I bought it from a black woman. Even my dresses, black owned. Black.
I couldn't wait to get home and do this video. This crackerjack right here, he was talking to y'all. He wasn't talking to me. You know why he wasn't talking to me? Because I shop black owned. But let me show you. My hair products, right? Black owned. You know who this is. black owned. Rice water, rosemary water, black owned. Botanica oil, black owned. For my locks, black owned. If I wanted a dude, black owned. Okay? For my kids, black owned. Edge control, black owned. Let me come over here. Edge control, black owned. Now, if I wanted something for my body, black owned. Y'all know who she be. Black owned. Okay? We get this? Now, if I want to wash my face, black owned. Okay? If I wanted to smell good, black owned. Let me open it so y'all see. Black owned. If I wanted my house to smell good, black owned. And all of that right, black owned. Black owned. If I wanted to wipe my butt, let me turn this around, baby. And I just got a package for 2 more. Black owned. If I wanted to wash my clothes, black owned. Black owned. Vitamins, more vitamins. Black owned. Okay? Black owned. Now for my hormones and stuff. Black owned. But if I wanted to sage out my house, I can't find my other ones, but baby, black owned. Black owned. Everything in my house is black owned. I support my black peoples. He was talking to y'all. He was not talking to me. And this is what I mean. You give them an inch, they take a mile. This black owned in here. Black owned. Black owned. It's matter of fact, I got black owned books. Books. Black owned. Everything is black owned with me. I support my people. Matter of fact, forgot, girl. If I wanted my house, mop my floors, baby. Mop my floors. Black owned. What else did I forget? It's so much stuff in my house that's black owned. Black owned. He was talking to y'all. He was not talking to me. He could never talk to me. I don't go there. I don't go to none of them. Y'all, I don't get my nails done. And I do my kids here, my husband here. Black owned.
My grandma always used to say, people always think the grass is greener on the other side, but you still got to water that shit. And every time I see certain conversations online, I always think about that. I'm seeing some folks say black people shouldn't be boycotting Asian businesses. Y'all gonna see what happened to y'all. And I'm like, what happened to y'all? What happened to us? What happened to y'all? That's the part that always kind of gets me, right? If black people don't matter, if the black dollar ain't valuable, if black people are doing too much, then stop taking our money. It's really that simple. Go on and get all them other dollars. Open your stores exclusively in communities where you feel like people don't complain, don't protest, and they don't speak up. Since we're such a burden, go and see how much it works out for you. The irony is black people have spent generations fighting for equality, not just for black people, but for everybody. And now a lot of people that benefited from the fight that black people did, they want to say, just be quiet and shut up. But if it wasn't for us, they'd be no you. And now some of the people who benefited from black folks opening those doors act like black people don't bring nothing to the table. And that's why I don't get offended anymore. If you truly believe black people have no value, stand on business. Stop taking the black dollar. Stop opening businesses in black neighborhoods. Stop marketing to black consumers. And just let us know when that little experiment works out. Because see, my grandmama also taught me something else. Folks don't appreciate water until the well runs dry.
Hey guys, welcome back. If you love the video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Support us by liking and commenting and also subscribing. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.